you know there is a place high in the Plumas National Forest where the snow comes early and keeps its secrets? In the winter of 1978, 5 men drove toward home, toward a warm valley, a basketball game in the morning, a mother's porch light. But they never arrived. Instead, they turned away from everything safe and familiar and climbed up, into the dark, into the cold, into a silence that has never been explained. One of them would survive for weeks in a trailer full of food, but starve to his death. One of them was never found at all. This is not just a story about how 5 men died, but it's also a story about why they walked into the mountains, when every reason in the world told them to go home.
Let's start with who they were. 5 friends, from Yuba City, California. 4 had intellectual disabilities, 1 had schizophrenia. All of them were gentle, dependable, and tied to a strict daily routine. Jack Madruga, 30, an Army veteran who owned the car, a 1969 Mercury Montego, he treated like treasure. Ted Weir, 32, soft-spoken, dependent on routine. He told his family he'd be home that night. Bill Sterling, 29, and Jackie Hewitt, 24, the youngest, devoted to his father. And Gary Mathias, 25, the only one without an intellectual disability, but he carried something else, schizophrenia, controlled by medication. He was the most capable of the group and, as we will see, the most important. These men played together on a team for people with disabilities, the Gateway Gators. They had their own tournament the next morning. They were excited. They had everything to come home to. Remember that. Everything to come home to. Friday, February 24th, 1978. The 5 drive 50 miles north to Chico to watch a college basketball game. Nothing unusual. They are in good spirits. The game ends around 10 p.m. On the way out, they stop at Bear's Market and buy snacks, candy, soda, pies, milk. The wrappers will matter later. For now, it is just 5 guys grabbing junk food after a game. They get back in the Montego. The plan is simple. Drop south on Highway 99, straight shot home, sleep, and be on the court in the morning. It is the last time anyone sees all 5 of them alive. And from this ordinary parking lot, the case stops making sense. Here is the first impossibility. Home was south, flat, familiar, 15 minutes of valley highway. Instead, the Montego went east, and then it went up. Into the Sierra Nevada, into the Plumas National Forest, along a remote mountain road climbing into snow country, in the dark, in February. 70 miles in the wrong direction, toward terrain not one of these men had any known connection to. No one forced the car off its route. There is no evidence of that. But these were men who lived by routine, who did not take risks, who had no reason on earth to be on that mountain. And yet, the tire tracks do not lie. The car climbed until the snow finally stopped it. 4 days later, a ranger finds the car near Rogers Cow Camp, deep in the forest. And the condition of it only deepens the mystery. The Montego is pristine, not crashed, not stuck in a ditch, no mechanical failure. It still has a quarter tank of gas, enough to turn around and drive miles back toward safety. The doors are fine, the windows are intact. The Bear's Market wrappers are still inside. There is no blood, no damage, no sign of a struggle. And this is the part investigators could never accept. Jack Madruga worshipped this car. The idea that he would grind it up a brutal mountain road and then simply walk away from it, leaving gas in the tank on a freezing night, was, to everyone who knew him, impossible. But that is exactly what happened. 5 men got out of a working car and walked into the wilderness on foot. There was one witness on that mountain that night. His name was Joseph Shones. Shones had driven up to check on a cabin when his own car got stuck in the snow. While trying to free it, he suffered a heart attack and survived, stranded in his vehicle through the freezing night. And from inside that car, he reported strange things. Headlights appearing behind him, consistent with the Montego. The sound of voices, whistling, people moving in the dark. And one detail that has haunted this case for decades. He said he heard and thought he saw a woman holding a baby. There was no woman. There was no baby. Not among the 5 men. Shones called out for help. He was dying, just yards away, and no one came. The voices went quiet. The lights went dark. Whoever was out there left him to the cold and vanished up the mountain. Was Shones hallucinating from his heart attack? Was there another group on that road? We still do not know. But he placed the men there and proved they ignored a man screaming for help in the night. When the men did not come home, their families panicked immediately, because these men always came home. But the search was looking in the valley. No one imagined the mountains. By the time the car was found, winter had locked the high country in snow and ice. Search teams went up. They found nothing. No bodies, no tracks. 5 grown men had simply dissolved into the white. Weeks passed, then months. The search wound down, defeated by the snow, and the mountain kept them, until June, when the thaw finally gave up what the winter had hidden. 19 miles. That is how far at least some of the men walked. Uphill, deeper into the mountains, deeper into the snow, away from the car, and away from any road home. At the end of that walk stood a U.S. Forest Service trailer at the Daniel Zink campground. And inside, in June, searchers found Ted Weir. The forensics were staggering. Ted had not died that first night. He had survived in that trailer for 8 to 13 weeks before finally dying of cold and starvation. He had lost nearly half his body weight. His feet were severely frostbitten, and his body was wrapped, carefully, in bedsheets. But here is the detail that breaks the case wide open. That trailer was stocked with sea rations, enough food to last a man over a year. Most of it was never opened. There was fuel to make heat. It went unused. There were matches. There were books to burn. A man slowly starved and froze to death, surrounded by food and the means to stay warm. And his shoes were missing. Taken, it seems, by someone who walked back out into the snow to find help. Someone who, many believe, was Gary Mathias. Out in the surrounding wilderness, they found the others, Madruga, Sterling, and Hewitt, dead of exposure. Jackie Hewitt's father helped recover his own son's remains. But Gary Mathias, the most capable of them, the one who may have walked out for help, was never found. To this day. So what happened on that mountain? After 4 decades, there are theories, but no proof. Theory 1, they fled, spooked by Shones's stuck car, by headlights, by something in the dark. They abandoned the Montego and ran into the wilderness in blind panic. Theory 2, Gary Mathias. If his schizophrenia broke through that night, he was the dominant personality, and the others followed. A single delusion could have led the whole group up the mountain. Theory 3, they simply got lost. Disoriented men, far from anything familiar, making one fatal decision after another in the dark and cold, until hypothermia stole their judgment entirely, which can explain men dying beside food they no longer understood how to use. Theory 4, foul play, the unexplained woman and baby, an unidentified watch found near wire, a body never recovered. Some believe a stranger was part of this story. Every theory explains something. Not one of them explains everything. And that is why, after all these years, the file is still open. In the end, 4 of them came down from the mountain. Jack, Ted, Bill, and young Jackie, carried home, in part, by his own father's hands. But Gary Mathias, is still up there, somewhere beneath the pines, beneath 40-odd winters of snow. The most capable of the five, the one who may have walked out into the dark to save his friends and was never seen again. They had a warm valley waiting, a game in the morning, a porch light left on. And instead, they turned away from all of it and climbed into a cold that has never given a single honest answer. We know what the snow took. We will probably never know why they walked toward it. So this is the question I will leave with you. On a freezing February night, with home in one direction and the dark mountains in the other, what could make five gentle, frightened men choose the mountains? If you have a theory, comment below.